Before the episode gets going, I want to let you know that these will be the last 3 episodes of Funbalanced, this being episode 3 of 3. As such, we will be releasing these episodes pretty much unedited, so if there's audio issues, beware. We will be continuing our adventures on the Funbalanced YouTube channel, so be sure to go subscribe there if you want to continue the adventure. Hello, welcome to another episode of Funbalanced, the podcast of fun, balanced conversations. My name is Ian, and joining me, as always, on this journey of Funbalanced is John.
Hey!
And Jay.
And me. Like, I didn't know what else to say. Like, he threw me off my game with the "it's me," and I heard it in an Italian voice.
It's me.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I took the only acceptable intro.
Did you see the comic where they asked Mario, like, why do you always say it's a me? And he's like, oh, it's because I am one of many. And then he just shows you all these tubes with this, like, like incubation Marios, just, like, wall to wall.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Anytime he dies, just another one pops up.
Haunting.
That explains so
one
much.
of many.
He is Legion.
Mario's a hive mind.
Have you ever seen the multiverse theory explained by Mario? Where they show, like, a Mario level with, like, multiple Marios all running around?
I have not.
It's pretty neat.
Oh.
Sounds cool.
Is it like at the end of every level of Super Meat Boy where you see all the ways that you died, and then you see the way that you won?
Yeah, essentially, but it was before then, so...
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah.
Well,
Brutal.
Nintendo's gotta... they gotta sue... What was it, Ed McMillan?
Was it Edmund? No, it wasn't Edmund McMillan.
Did Super Meat Boy?
Was it?
I don't know. I just said a name. If it's right, I'm gonna be very happy.
He did Finding Out Isaac.
Yeah.
I was right. Yeah, Super Meat Boy before that.
Oh, wow. Huh.
All right.
Boy, I pulled that name out of
just
my brain 10 years ago.
That was
Oh,
impressive.
I thought you just picked 2 random names and they happened to be right. And I was like, dang.
That would have been even more
sorcerer. Now,
I am,
there's only one Super Meat Boy, right? There's only like one game. It's just they keep adding to it.
No, I think they did Super Meat Boy 2, didn't they?
Did they? Why isn't it
don't
on this
know.
damn list?
Because they don't have every
only search for
series
Super
of
Meat
games
Boy.
ever. That'd be too many.
Oh yeah, Super Meat Boy Forever. Wasn't that? Yeah, I think it was like a re-release.
I think so.
That might have been.
Ah.
I don't know. I played that game, but I was not very good at it, as you're not supposed to be at the beginning, and that I only begun the beginning, and then I stopped.
I've only begun the beginning. The way all good stories start.
I like my stories to start at the beginning.
I got to the B in beginning, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't for me.
I love the developer name is just Team Meat. Like,
Team.
they got a brand, you know?
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'm 3D printing a giant Hulk statue, and I just shared a screenshot with both of you of the part that I'm getting ready to slice.
Oh my god, I'm so glad I got context for that.
Oh, yeah, me too. Son of a bitch.
God, that image without context, it's very phallic, no matter which side you look at. It's...
All I'm saying is they rendered every vein.
Instead of balls, it's feet.
Why is he wearing baby shoes? Hulk, your weight. I don't know how to deal with your enormous package. You're going to have to tone it down some.
God, did you see that they had to unpackage Namor for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever?
No.
No, what happened with that?
They were showing like behind the scenes stuff without CG or like in earlier trailers or whatever, and he, was good for him, I gotta say. And then in the final movie, it's like they like gave him the Ken doll, where it's just this is flush. His trunk's just flush. So they depackaged him in the.
Yeah, I don't watch Marvel movies
Not
to
a
feel
lot of-
bad about myself.
Yeah, weird that there's not like a huge public outcry, like release the bulge cut.
Release the Snyder cut.
There's a really good joke in there, and I'm trying to think of it. It'll come to me halfway through this episode.
I look forward to it.
I'll shout it out. It'll either come to me or I'll forget completely, and we'll just move on. Just either, both of those are equally likely.
And if you're hearing this, it means that the joke is in here, or I didn't cut this part out.
Or maybe he did cut it out. I don't know.
Why would you cut out such
It's one of those two options.
I'm a big fan of discussion of theoretical jokes that we may or may not tell later in the podcast.
That's how we get him to stick around.
I always thought of us as modern day philosophers. Just tackling the big problems.
Man, Hulk's package is taking
Final
up like
Fantasy.
90% of this build plate. Hey, Final Fantasy. What about that? I've played some.
Oh. Yeah, picking back up where we left off in the previous episode, going through this gamer score. 100 games. Have you played more than 2 hours of them or not? Ian has not, is what we found out so far.
Surprising almost no one. Listen, I thought I did so good. Like, I was checking boxes left and right. I was like, man, I played so many of these. Like, they're not even going to expect how good that I did here. And then you both posted your scores in our chat on Discord, and I guess I could leave it to the end to just, say what our actual scores are. But I feel like I'm going to post the images in the first episode, so you're going to see. My score is 51, and I thought that was really good.
That was pretty good. It was pretty good for you, though.
Yeah.
As far as, like, gaming for you has really taken a turn. Because you used to kind of obsess about a game.
Yeah.
Those days are long behind you, my friend.
Yep. Also correct.
Now Ian hates games.
And
now I theoretically obsess about a game.
Yeah, and I can't figure out where that happened. Where we went wrong with you in your upbringing. I think it's probably right around the time of, like, when a lot of us started playing when Elder Scrolls happened. And we all started playing that. I feel like you're like, yeah, that's not for me.
Yeah. I gave it all up. I threw my Spidey suit in the trash, and I walked off in the rain.
All right, but second column, first one up, like John said, Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I think one of the very first games I ever played on a modern day console was the first Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy 1 on the Nintendo.
Yeah.
I played like an import version of it.
Yeah, for sure. I know I played a decent amount of that. I didn't really get heavy into it, I think, until like right around the PlayStation 1. I started looking more into like tactics games. I don't know, for some reason those were brand new to me, and they had like a cool little Final Fantasy Tactics collection that I ended up. A friend and I, here, you borrow this game, I'll borrow that game, and then they moved. So I lost an SSX game, or maybe it was Cool Borders, I can't remember, but ultimately I gained Final Fantasy like Tactics.
It's a very tactical move on your part.
Yeah, I forgot about the tactics games.
Yeah. Those were really good.
Yeah.
Really
Started off with a snowball fight, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like the training mission was a snowball fight. I was like, this is such a cool, fun way to do it.
Yeah, that's how you do a tutorial. Very, very, very well. I thought that was amazing.
So I've played Final Fantasy IV. But for the life of me, I cannot recall a single detail about it.
I mean, they didn't have super
like, I know that I had it.
Well, what system did you play it on?
And I know that I played it. What systems was Final Fantasy IV on? I didn't.
I think
like
the regular
if
Nintendo.
you go far enough back, it was I used to just play these things to other people's houses because I didn't have a console of my own until like the original PlayStation.
Yeah.
So it was just sort of like someone else had it and I had played it, but I just remember it being Final Fantasy IV because I recognized the cover, but then I just could tell you nothing about the game. My brain was just sort of like, hit the buttons, do the things. Which is also how a lot of those games were. It was a lot of Mario games for me as I played them on some of the consoles, and I've just fragmentally played them, right? Because it was always like jump into their save or whatever and just go from wherever they were. So I have fragments of Mario games and Final Fantasy games that I've played, but never really my own. Not enough to make my own memories, apparently.
So, 4, as released in North America, is known as Final Fantasy 2. Mm-hmm. So that's where the confusion happens. Like, where did you play this one at?
Oh, maybe it was 2. I don't know. I just remember I was looking up the Final Fantasy games, and I believe I saw the cover for Final Fantasy 4, and I was like, oh, that's familiar. But maybe it's just because this is the cover of Final Fantasy 2.
Yeah, yeah.
And 6 was 3 over here, right?
Jesus Christ.
6.
It's weird. I bounced off this series. I don't understand.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I don't Let me look. Because I know 6 is kind of like a fan favorite.
That was the one I first fell in love with.
Yes, yeah. 6 is like one of the, like, a lot of my friends growing up, they're like, oh yeah, 6 was the best. But yeah, it was known as Final Fantasy 3 in North America. But as it turns out, Final Fantasy 3, the true Final Fantasy 3, was also amazing. So it's like, man, what a mess. And it makes sense. I think they stopped that. I think they stopped that after 6. I think 7 was 7. I don't know how that works out in Japan, or how we went from 3 to 7.
You know,
it's at the time where people just didn't notice.
Yeah,
yeah, that was a big part of it.
Yeah, when you get like one big game a year, you know, it really takes it out. You're like, I guess I missed 6 others.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, moving down the list, Pikmin. I don't know. I'd call it a Nintendo underdog.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I think it's one of the better
love.
Nintendo properties.
Yeah, it's really good. A lot of fun to be had with man, I think the last one they had came out on the Wii U.
There is just a remake of Pikmin 3, and Pikmin 4 comes out this year, I believe.
Aha.
On the Switch. But yeah, the first new one was on the Wii U. Or the last new one.
Yeah. Because I was like a very big... Like, I was like, yes, the Wii U is awesome. And I did really like that system. It was a fun system. We mentioned our friend RJ and you hanging out with him a lot, Ian. He is a dick to play games with. I hope he's listening, because he screwed a lot of us over in Mario on Wii U. Yeah. There's a spot in, I don't even remember what the Mario on Wii U was called, but it was like a 4-player thing, and all of us are playing, and you all control this like dinosaur that you're kind of surfing on, and anybody that just jerks the wheel, that's the way it goes. Everyone has to try to like correct it back, like if someone presses a direction, and he would always jerk the wheel. I know it was you.
So I feel like everyone probably has their own, like, what we would call this, the Nintendo villain.
Yeah.
Just the person who owned the console, right? The person who had the Nintendo games, who was just always the best at like Smash Brothers, or would just crush you in Super Mario Party or whatever, like, or Mario Kart. You know, there's always like that person who's just like, man, they're way too good at this casually fun thing.
Yeah.
It was my console.
I've had many in my life.
It was my console. I owned it. He came to my house. It was before D&D. Oh, God.
That's even worse.
Yeah. Good times. Good times. But
now
anyway.
they're just like, oh, you want to play Smash? Oh, don't worry, I brought my own controller, and you're like, uh-oh, I'm about to die.
I've got this sweet modified fighting stick.
Yeah. God. But I don't really think I've played Pikmin. I had more than, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes at someone's house. I'm like, I get it. You throw stuff at stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sweet mix of an RTS and a puzzle game with like adorable little monsters that get to fight stuff.
And die for you.
Yeah, you feel bad when they die.
You do what you can to keep them alive.
Yeah.
But you never can.
Is doing what you can to keep them alive throwing them at
big monsters.
Throw them at the big monsters.
But they love that.
To be fair, they're absolutely big fans of it.
They are.
Getting a real Meeseeks vibe from these Pikmin.
They kind of have a similar gaze, if you will. a googly eye gaze.
We got the real doodle eyes. So how about the Tales of series? Have either of you played anything from that?
A lot of them, actually, yeah.
I think Tales of Symphonia might be the only one that I put significant time in.
I remember playing Symphonia. A lot of those games I remember coming out when I worked in video game retail.
Mm-hmm.
So it was basically like a giant video game library.
I feel like
could just take something home and try it and play a couple hours of and enjoy.
I feel like the reason that Ian's not going to have played most of these is because the majority of them are JRPGs.
That is correct.
Yeah. All right, so do we just skip over those and say yes, we played them?
So if it was Telltales, then that's different, right? I played a lot of Telltale games.
That didn't even make the list, did it?
No.
They're really shutting me out here with the one series that I've played multiple entries of to completion.
But yeah, I know Tales of Symphonia. That was the first one that, of course, came to my mind as well. But there's also like Tales of Vesperia, and man, a lot of these games are like the same kind of. You know, it's like the same thing, just kind of wrapped in a different shell. But it's fun to go back to because it's kind of like a comfort food. You know what you're gonna get. You're not gonna be led astray. And it kind of does that like Dragon Ball thing with it. Like Tales of Symphonia, like all the characters' names were like instruments. Or
what was the?
Well, maybe it wasn't instruments. Maybe it was definitely like music related.
What was the? Isn't there like a JRPG? Like, oh, is it Chrono Trigger? That's like actually has the art, like same artist as Dragon Ball.
Oh, is that Blue Dragon?
Am I?
BlazBlue?
Chrono Trigger.
Oh.
Like, if you look up Chrono Trigger, the cover art is literally just Dragon Ball art. It's the same person.
Yeah, I was thinking of the Blue Dragon series. I don't know if you guys remember that 360 game.
Blue Dragon series.
It's literally it's literally Dragon Ball. Main character looks like a little kid Goku.
Wow. Boy, they really copied the homework and didn't change any details.
I don't know if that's true. I think it was literally just the dude who worked on Dragon Ball did the art for this game.
Oh, he's copying his own work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's how you stay out of legal trouble.
So.
Hey, wait a minute. Oh, it's you.
Oh.
You had a mask on. He almost got us. That one's not on here either. But apparently a couple of us played the Tales of games.
Yeah, I like Tales of. And Of Mana. That's a good series, too. Ian?
Made people pronounce mana wrong.
Ian, have you played any Mana games?
Just looking over real quick. Just doing a quick... No, absolutely not.
Secret of Mana on the Super Nintendo was one of the first ones that I played. And it was amazing. It's a fantastic game.
I'm trying to remember. What was the first one that I ended up playing? It was a later one. It might have been like Rise, or maybe the one before it. Like maybe. It was definitely taken out of like when I worked in video game retail. Maybe it was Circle of Mana.
I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, they just like rapid fired a bunch of them out, and I worked with Johnny, who is on the Mammoth Games cast with us, and I know he was a really big fan, so I think he talked me into it, and I talked him into the Souls series. Yeah,
He's gonna have some things to say when this comes out, I'm sure.
he's gonna.
But this just looks like your standard JRPG nonsense that
this is where
stay very far away from.
This is where Johnny shines. Like the first 4 in this, all him. Like if this would have been the other show, I probably wouldn't have said too much.
I mean, I think you would have probably dug on Secret of Mana, the Super Nintendo one, because that was like a really good action RPG mix.
Okay.
With like real-time combat and like just a really solid story and fun characters.
Okay, yeah, that cover looks super familiar.
Yeah, it was probably one of the best Super Nintendo games.
Here's my fun thing that I always like to do for JRPGs. Do you know the names of any of the characters?
Oh shit. The Executioner? There has to be one, right?
I don't know the names of characters in any game. Like if you're like, I mean, I'm pretty sure the main character God of War's name is God of War.
Yeah, I mean technically, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know his real name.
Names as job titles, but yeah. Apparently the main character of Secrets of Mana is named Randy.
Randy.
Randy. That makes sense. He seems like a Randy.
But like JRPGs, man, they just throw so much information at you that like even just trying to remember the character names, I feel like I cannot do. But I don't know if anyone else does, right? Like again, this is like a Super Nintendo game, but it's probably not fair. But
Yeah, I would say definitely not fair. But I mean, I don't know. I'm bad at names, so.
Listen, we all know the Metal Gear, character's name.
Everyone knows. Anybody who played it only knows it because they had it streamed at them a million times.
Master Chef.
Hey, whatever works.
Oh yeah, now we're on to Metal Gear. That's true.
Oh yeah.
I just looked over and I was like, oh, we're talking about this for a reason.
I think I've only played
cool segue.
The first 2 Metal Gear.
It does say Metal Gear. It doesn't say Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah, so they're only talking about the original original NES game.
If that's the case, I've never played it. I've only played the
series,
Solid.
so I'm assuming they mean the Metal Gear series.
In that case, I played a bunch of them. The Smoking Monkey from 4 was my favorite. That monkey was awesome.
I mean, he sounds awesome.
He was. I didn't even know monkeys could smoke, but they can. That's obviously not good for them, and that's really, really, just not a good.
Right. Imagine
odor.
the amount of nicotine that like is good for that is meant for a human consumption with a cigarette. I mean, it's not really meant for any consumption, but like a monkey having that much nicotine.
Monkeys are much smaller. That's a very valid point.
Yeah.
I mean, how sad would it be if you just look over and this monkey's hacking a lung out? That bums me out. I just don't think that was the right thing to do with the monkey.
Probably
but
less
that monkey
sad
was
than
cool,
if a person was doing it, I think.
It was cool
Listen,
in like
if
a
they made it
cyberpunk
today,
way.
he'd be vaping.
All right, I'm down for vaping monkey.
He has a little motorcycle.
That sounds real cool. Yeah, like a scooter.
Yeah, a Vespa with a helmet.
Hell yeah.
No, he's got a one wheel. Listen, we're thinking modern day here. You gotta go with the trends.
He has a backpack that has it's like the very small size, like we would put like a cat in it. Has a dome on it so the cat can see out, but he has a small one and it has a grasshopper in it. I think we got a character. Flushing it out. Oh, now we're on God of War.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So I have played Metal Gear 1, no, probably 2. I think 2 was the one where most people entered in, and I played around. It was fun. 2 was fun.
Yeah.
I was very bad at it. It might have been one of those things where there was just a demo that I played, one of the Pizza Hut demos or whatever,
Oh,
for
sure.
multiple hours. But eventually I beat that demo, and I was like, hell yeah, accomplishment.
It was satisfying to just have that box on your head. You could hide in plain sight.
God, there's a lot of days I wish I had one of those boxes. Can I just crawl?
Can you just like knock on something? Can you just be like,
Yeah.
like
If you
knock on a thing and they'd be like, huh?
You can
What?
put your back against the wall and then press like an action button, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, super cool."
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
Just being able to sneak around. Those are my vivid childhood memories of Metal Gear Solid.
What was I think I played? It was like was it called like 0 Hour or something like that came out before 5. By that point, I had completely lost what the hell they were talking about with the story, and I think most people did probably after 1.
By the time you finish one of those games, you've lost what's happening in the story.
So it just turns when I don't know what I'm doing in the story, I go guns out. Like I'm not sneaking anymore. I'm just shooting anything that moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, changes the game. Not as fun when you do that. So
I'm bad at stealth, so that's all it always went for me.
oh, okay. Well, character that's
For a
bad
lot of
at
those
stealth.
later games. Yeah.
Kratos.
Not a really not a hidey guy.
Yeah,
Less
punchy
stealth.
guy.
I have played every major God of War release.
Did you beat
say.
the latest one, or not the latest one, but the second most latest one?
The like reboot.
Yeah.
Not a reboot.
I
It's
have played every major release from God of War.
Have you beaten any of them?
1 and 2 I have beaten. I'm pretty sure I also beat God of War Ascension, because I got like the deluxe edition for this. I have this weird habit. Hey, welcome to Ian's side tangent of the 10 minutes that we're in, 10-minute block we're in. You get one every 10 minutes. I have an awful habit of getting the like deluxe edition of like the collector's edition of like the worst game in every series.
I mean, you probably have a cool collection now, though.
Yeah, but like, imagine if I gotten the cool editions of the good games. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you'd feel better about yourself, but nobody has what you have because nobody wanted it.
I got the collector's edition of God of War Ascension, which is no one's favorite
Yeah.
God of War game, and it came with a little God of War statue, which I still have. His arms come off, which is fun.
Just
and I'm
like
sure
in
I'm
the
going to lose
game.
one soon. Yeah, just like in the game. And I also got the collector's edition, like giant box version of Batman Arkham Origins.
Wait.
Yeah,
Is that
the
the one
black
that-
sheep of the Arkham series.
Yeah, is that the one that comes as like the character didn't have a head or it had a mask on and it was sitting on like TVs or something, like a throne of TVs?
Yep. Yeah, that's still hanging up. That's in my game room. It's like a little statue of, I think it's Joker. Yeah, it's Joker. I'm gonna spoil that fucking game. Yeah, because it's Joker, which is weird because like the main bad guy in Arkham Origins was supposed to be Black Mask, but hey, spoilers, Black Mask is Joker this whole time.
It's always fucking Joker.
Because goddamn it, they never learn. But yeah, so like in one of the compartments, there's like a little black bag, a little black plastic bag that says like, "Don't open this until you beat the story" or whatever. And inside of that is the Black Mask head that you can swap out for the Joker head, so you can make him Black Mask. I understand why they didn't do it the other way, but it would have made way more sense to do it the other way. Like marketing wise, people don't want a statue of Black Mask. Anyone that's not me. Black Mask is awesome. I think
Yeah.
he's an underrated villain in the Batman Rogues Gallery who just gets shit on most of the time. But he's formidable in the way of like he's like a member of the Rogues Gallery and a member of the organized crime at the same time. And I always thought that was really compelling because like most of the people, they're just like, oh, it's Mr. Freeze, and he's gonna freeze you, But he doesn't really have crime besides doing supervillain crime. Whereas Black Mask is just a dude doing organized crime that also has this sick villain mask or whatever kind of persona to him. Who's kind of larger than life. But yeah, it's like I understand people don't want the statue of Black Mask, so you had to make it Joker. But you also just kind of like spoiled your story.
Like, two things
with your collector's edition.
I thought that collector's edition was amazing. Like, I love the little bag, the swappable head in the bag, like at the back. You know how many people had no idea that was there? I don't know how.
Oh yeah, it's maybe like it's a little hidden. Well, because there's a compartment to like turn the TVs on, right? It's a little switch that like does a thing. This is in a different compartment from that.
Yeah.
So like you would just never know.
Yeah. And the other thing, El Idolo's a really good wrestler, and he has the Black Mask persona. And that's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Doesn't it like spoil the game for anybody that comes to your house too?
I mean, they don't know the context of it. They just think that it's just a statue of the Joker in front of a desk with a bunch of TVs behind him.
Right, unless they bought the same collector's edition.
Oh, sure. I have the Joker version on. I guess I could swap it out for the Black Mask version, but
I mean, if they're actively playing this like 2011 game, or
yeah, I'm not saying now. I'm saying
I get what you mean. That would have been funny though. Oh damn it! I was just playing that.
But yeah, I played God of War.
He's played a couple.
How about that Tetris?
I assume
I played my share of Tetris.
Yeah, it lessens traumatic experiences, so I'm all for it.
All right, that was the fastest one.
All right.
Did you see the trailer they released today for the Tetris movie?
Yeah, it made me really angry, and the pre-trailer made me even angrier.
I saw it as I was doing something, and I just never went back.
Because the pre-trailer is them going, Tetris, 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 Tetris. And they say Tetris like 20 times in like the 3-second pre-trailer trailer. And then they just do that the entire fucking actual trailer too. Like, I swear they said Tetris 87 times during the trailer.
I haven't seen this
name of the game.
Sure. If every movie did that, nobody would ever watch a movie ever.
I have to know what is happening.
I don't know. John Wick gets away with it.
How do you play, or how do you make Tetris into a movie? Is it a movie about the making of Tetris?
That's the only way. It's just a bunch of blocks falling down.
Is it really?
Yeah, for an hour and a half.
Oh Jesus! Good God.
One of us is lying, and one of us is telling the truth. You just have to figure out which one it is.
I believe both of you. And I'm disgusted.
No, it's about.
I was annoyed at how much I wanted to see it. I was like, "Dang, I'm gonna watch this fucking movie."
I'm not. If they're gonna fucking say Tetris 87 times in it, it's too many times saying the word. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be about the origins of Tetris and bringing it out over here and all the weird legal stuff that happened.
Oh, see, it was fun for a minute, and then you're like, and then all the legal stuff that happened. I'm like, okay, never mind. It's boring.
Well, no,
again.
basically they had to get it out of Soviet era Russia. Is a little less straightforward than you would think.
Well, and there was also some stuff with it being published by different people that didn't have the rights for it too. But there was a lot of controversy about it.
Thrilling legal battles is the movie. It's got Taron Egerton, so I don't care. Like I'm in.
I mean, I think they should have went with the falling blocks for the whole thing.
I would have believed it.
Yeah,
like I was right there, ready to go. Yeah.
Or Chris Pratt, he could have played the L shape.
He probably would have been like, I want to be the.
Yeah, Chris Pratt's the square. You know he's the square. He doesn't get to be any of the cool shapes.
But he'd call it though.
He'd be like, I'm the straight piece.
What color? What color? Blue.
And I only make Tetrises.
Yeah. And the voice of all of them deleting is Seth Rogen laughing. I kind of want that now.
It can't be worse than the Mario
do you know that? True. This might be a thing that you know, or it might just be a thing that only I know because I am a fan of all these people. But did you know that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in every single one of Rian Johnson's movies? Or like every project that he's been a part of?
No.
Yeah. So if you've watched some of his Rian Johnson's more recent films, you may be thinking, I don't fucking remember seeing Joseph Gordon-Levitt in these. And I guess I'm not going to spoil it for you, but in both of the newer films that Rian Johnson has made, his voice is, you hear his voice. You don't actually see him, but where you hear his voice is very interesting, I will say. So you can look that up later if you want to, but I don't want to spoil it for those who don't want to look it up.
I want it to be spoiled a little bit.
I mean, I could just cut it. I could just tell you now.
Sure.
So you've both seen Glass Onion, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt is the voice of the hourly dong.
Oh my god. I was really hoping you were like, in the first movie he was the grandmother, and I would have been like, no way.
In Glass Onion, he played the boat.
He was the dude that was just hanging out on the island.
He was both dock statues. That's what he was.
No, the dude hanging out on the island was the cop from the first movie, right?
Yeah.
We were wondering if he was playing the same character, because we thought that would have been hilarious.
Yeah. I want him in like heavy makeup so you can't tell who it is.
Yeah.
That would be good. But, you know, I guess. It's fun. All right.
Yeah, and then...
We'll resume here.
That was the end of my thing.
Yeah. We cut out all that. You have no idea what we're laughing at.
It should be.
Yeah. Red Dead Redemption.
I played the latest one.
Okay.
I definitely played at least 2 hours of Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know how much more than 2 hours of it I played. I gotta look it up and find out. But I don't remember if I actually beat the first Red Dead Redemption. I remember playing it. But I definitely played through the entirety of the Undead Nightmare DLC. I had so much fun with that.
Yeah.
That was like its own game, like in itself, and I was here for it.
I always heard it was. I never played the DLC. I heard people rave about it though.
Yeah, it was huge. And I think it was huge because Red Dead Redemption was so, like, just accepted. Like, they have Grand Theft Auto, and then they make this Western, and it's like a great story and really good mechanics and everything. Just like you really feel like you're that character, and they did such a good job. And then like Undead Nightmare, they're like, wait, we can do that? Like, everyone's just kind of like mind blown. They're like, it was so real, and now it's not, and that's awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Before that, Red Dead Revolver.
They took all the grounded. Oh yeah, Red Dead Revolver. Yeah.
That was a great game too. It came out like right around the same time as like Gun, and I think I liked the game Gun a lot better than Red Dead Revolver.
I did play Gun a lot.
Gun was an awesome game.
Played Gun,
and I think Red Dead Revolver kind of got lost in the shuffle with that game for sure. But then Red Dead Redemption 1 really cemented themselves, and 2, like I'll go out on a limb. That's one of the best video games of all time. Mm-hmm. Like, that world is unlike a lot of other worlds. And I think that's a Rockstar thing. They're just comprised of like 400 environment artists and 2 story artists. Like, but it does such a good job.
I think my favorite part of the game was Ian and I were at that time having a big discussion about how awful he thinks Bethesda is and how all their games are super buggy. So every time I had a bug in that game, I would just screenshot it or record it and send it to him. So he was just constantly getting my weird bugs from Red Dead Redemption 2. I think my favorite one is I had a cutscene bug out, and like I went up to talk to somebody while they were sharpening their knife in the camp. Mm-hmm. And it wouldn't progress into the cutscene, but I was just locked there with my character staring at this guy sharpening his knife for like 10 minutes. And it just got more and more awkward and better the longer it went.
that game is still making like great like meme quality content.
Yeah.
I saw one literally yesterday. It was your character like watching like Javier through the binoculars, but Javier is pissing and it's like his back, and then Dutch walks in front of him and cuts him off so he can't see for a second, and he like puts the binoculars down and goes, "Damn it, Dutch." It was just so dumb, but perfect. This is good clean fun, except watching Javier pee. That's not okay.
We all do it.
Yeah.
We all watch Javier P.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
It's part of the experience, I guess. All right, everyone has Street Fighter checked, right?
Yeah. Anyone Street fights? Anyone fight streets?
Yeah, I mean, Street Fighter 2 probably one of my most played games ever.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a world if you play video games, especially growing up, like in the like 90s, 2000s, where you didn't play a Street Fighter at a friend's house.
I mean, I loved arcade fighting games, so I was all about that and Mortal Kombat all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, Mortal Kombat, like, was the most controversial and probably successful video game of its time. Like, and Street Fighter was, like, right there next to it. It had awesome characters and, like, I mean, I have like a lot of different memories of playing Street Fighter across several different games with a lot of different people. Like, I think Ian, you and I played 4 a lot, right? Or not a lot, but like
I think so. Yeah,
we played it a decent amount.
I definitely have not ever played any of the newer ones. Although I'm real excited for, what is it, 6? Is that the one that's coming out, or 7?
6.
Oh yeah, we can just make monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
and the monsters aren't even like your fighting character. It is just the person you run around the game as.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I wish it was the
horrifying
fighting character. Wouldn't that be cool? And they base your
not with the hitboxes you can make.
and they base your fighting style on your body shape. So everyone is just like the drunken monkey. Really, really steep gameplay there for online. Yeah, I don't think it's possible though. That, like, you look at a few of these and you're like, yeah, everyone's played it except Legend of Zelda, and Ian's like, everyone was like had their mind blown by Ian. Nope, never played one.
Speaking of everyone's played, we've all played a Chrono Series game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Couple of them.
Is that the Chrono Trigger series? Oh shit, it's the Chrono Trigger series.
Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, Chrono Blitz.
Does that change anything for you?
No.
Okay. You really made it sound like it was gonna.
Well, yeah, I was like, oh, the Chrono series. I wonder what games are in that. And I look it up and I'm like, oh, Chrono Trigger, that thing I was just talking about that I have familiarity with, but I haven't played. My familiarity was seeing the cover and being like, hey, that's Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
That end of familiarity. People say it's like one of the best JRPGs, but being one of the best things that I don't like is still probably a thing that I don't like.
Yeah, it was Chrono Trigger for me. I don't think I ever really jumped into Chrono Cross. I was aware of it, but
yeah, I think Chrono Trigger, is that the one with the like 3D pendulum in the opening scene on the Super Nintendo?
Yeah, I believe so. It's been a really long time, but yeah. I really just remember that they had that. It was so close to Final Fantasy. I mean, which made sense, with the limitations that they had and who was making it. So made sense.
I think we had talked about Ratchet and Clank before, but I've definitely played Ratchet and Clank games.
Yeah, I think we covered it a little bit on the Jack and Daxter section, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah, just super solid platforming and puzzles. The newest one, Rift Between, is fantastic.
They
very good work on the whole series.
They made a game based off of an earlier game, and then they made that game into a movie, and then they made a game off that movie, I think. Right?
I believe
there is Ratchet and Clank, the game based off the movie.
Yeah.
Which is already based off of one of the games.
But and it was a reboot of the series that
I like that they they never even said anything about it. They're like Ratchet and Clank, the movie, the game, and everyone's like, wait. They didn't call it that, obviously, but that's what it was.
We know.
Yeah, well, one of our friends used to just call it was their favorite game. Like, she would play, it was like one of her main games that she would play, and she just called it Mindless Violence. That was like her game that she would just play to relax.
I can see Tom.
And I always respected that. Because it was still wholesome. Like, it's Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
You definitely kill a lot of stuff, though.
Yeah. And they did have a lot of really good quips. That game was funny. So, now I want to play a Ratchet and Clank game.
I still haven't beat the newest one, but that's not saying much for me.
If this list was how many games have you played and not finished, you would have checked almost everything.
I'm stuck on a part where I keep running out of ammo, and I'm like, how? Like, I just need to reload farther back where I had more ammo, because the place I keep reloading, I'm already low on ammo, and I just keep getting ambushed.
I cannot think of any point in the latest game where you can't just leave that area.
It's this one. The guy's working on a. Excuse me. I just sneeze. What? The guy, there's someone that's working on opening this door or something, or this machine, and you have to stop these waves of enemies before in time for him to fix it. Like how old games used to do loading screens.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically do this while we load the next area.
Yeah, that's what that is.
But yeah, so it's just like a repeating section that I don't think I can get out of, and I keep running out of ammo. So I think I have to go back and reload an older section.
I'm gonna guess you're less than 5 hours into it.
Absolutely.
I would just start over. if you're stuck at less than 5 hours, maybe start over and put it on easy mode.
I'm on the second planet or whatever. They've separated there, and he's like, all right, time to go try and fix this, and that's where I'm at.
That's life-changing for you. Second planet?
Yeah.
That's in-game for him.
Firmly in Act 1.
He's like, damn, are we wrapping this thing up yet, or what's happening?
This is the final boss, right?
And then the opening credits flash, and it has the splash screen with the title.
Yeah. Shit.
Damn.
Call of Duty, yeah, multiplayer, shooting times.
I would say, man, this game, it's a love-hate thing. I think it is that way with a lot of people, because the gunplay and the gameplay, amazing. I don't know, there's a few games that have that that perfect gun first-person shooter feel. Obviously, Call of Duty is one of them. But then you get into the online community, and you're like, oh, this is garbage.
Yeah. Some of them, surprisingly had... I remember, I think it was, what was it? Call of Duty, no, it's not... What the fuck was it called? Some of them had really good stories.
Oh, Big Red 1? That was way back in the day. That was a PlayStation 2 game, though.
Yeah, I remember, it was the original Black Ops, is what I'm trying to think of.
Oh, yeah.
The original Black Ops, playing through the story mode, I was legitimately there were twists I did not see, where now the big twist is always oh, you were the baddies at one point, and it's come on, guys.
Yeah.
You just keep getting bigger and bigger names in your thing and keep doing the same shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But they've really perfected their, gameplay. You can really tell what they've focused on. They service their
perfection
fan base.
is one of those weird things where they perfected it and then they have done nothing to it since then. So perfect over a long enough timeline is just sort of yeah, but you're not doing anything new anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Perfection when you're not innovating. Perfection is fine. You made a perfect movie, right? You made a perfect game. But if you keep making that same perfect movie or perfect game, it kind of is no longer perfect because you didn't do anything.
Yeah, I think in their case, at least for me, from my experience in literally playing the newest one, like it feels like super crisp. It's like they're not innovating. I mean, I think they are innovating, like a lot of behind the scenes things, but they're really but the game is completely stagnant. Like it's not for people who like a story. It's not for like they've ran off all of their like the people that loved it like yesterday. Those people are gone. So yeah, it's really a new age thing. They know who they're competing with. And
good God, we're not even going to get through fucking one. We're not even halfway down this row.
Well, let's bang them out unless we got something real good to say. Age of Empires.
Yeah, I have played it. I'm not a big fan.
It's a really good RTS, but they haven't done much with it in a long time.
Yeah.
There's a chance that I've played this or something exactly like this, but I couldn't tell you, which is about all I have to say, right? Like, it was either this or something that was kind of like this, but probably worse. And as a kid, it was a thing that I could get my hands on and play, so I probably did for many hours.
Yeah, I mean, I love RTSs. Probably one of my most memorable stories about Age of Empires was the very first one. I was playing my roommate, and we were having just an epic, long match. And I just abandoned my colony and snuck, 2 priests inside of his. And he wasn't paying any attention to his base, and he was just, trying to eradicate all my guys, and I was making him chase me around the map. And while he did that, I just converted his entire base to my side. And then, locked him out, so he couldn't come back in, and he couldn't build anything.
Oh, nice. That's how you do that. So, I mean...
They're like, haha, they all believe in Jesus now.
Yeah.
No, I think... I remember playing, some earlier ones, and those ones were fine. It's like the new age, Age of Empires that I'm just it's...
Yeah.
It looks nice, but it's not the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
Need for Speed.
I like the crashy one. What's the crashy? The game where you can crash them up.
You're thinking of
Burnout?
Yeah, is that not a Need for Speed game?
No.
Then I didn't.
But I was gonna say
but I'll accept it.
Yeah, the 2 racing games that I have played the most, probably more than 2 hours of. There's only probably 2. One of them is Burnout 3 Takedown.
Mm-hmm.
I played the absolute shit out of that game. I recently went back and remade I found the playlist for that game, and I just listen to that sometimes because it's so good. And then the other one is Need for Speed Most Wanted. Those are the 2 games that I've played many, many hours of. I like Burnout more, but that's just, the crashy ones are better.
You do have
Most Wanted was good.
You do have a thing for not the not the game that I would have expected. When you said Burnout, I was gonna expect Paradise. And when you said
I played Takedown before, obviously that was the one that came right before it.
Yeah.
And Paradise with the open world, I don't know, it didn't hit that same spot for me.
Sure.
I played it even recently, and I'm like, it just doesn't hit the same. And then I found a thing where I could play Burnout 3 again, and I was like, oh, no, it's not just me. This game is the best.
And the Need for Speed title, I thought you were gonna say Underground. Or Underground 2.
Yeah, that was
depending.
That was everyone's thing.
Yeah.
I liked Most Wanted. There's more freedom.
That was one of the first times I ever heard Skindred, though. So it's hard for me to, ignore that because
also
I really dug that sound.
Nobody gets out alive.
That's true. They never did. Now they never will.
John, have I made you listen to Skindred at any point in our years of sharing an office and listening to music?
I feel like it was probably on the Work 1 Million playlist.
Do you remember hearing a song that was like, wow, this is reggae and punk and metal all at the same time?
That's them.
I mean, that sounds
That's
familiar.
Skindred. And I would say it's an acquired taste, but I think it just rules.
Yeah, but it's not. It's
objectively great.
It was immediate. It could have been the time. It could have been the time. We were at a developmental stage of our lives, but it was instantaneous. All right, Harvest
Moon. No.
I love them. Yes, I played a bunch. I like cozy farming games.
Yeah, no, I mean, I played one or two along the way.
I think they've become horribly outdated, and they just keep doing the same thing. Like, they need a... I mean, Stardew Valley was the revamp of Harvest Moon for me.
Oh, yeah. And Animal Crossing just kicked the ever-loving shit out of Harvest Moon. When it came out, like the pandemic. I think they had a title that was, like, either on its way for Harvest Moon, or it had just come out. And, not great.
I think the next two we can probably lump together. Prince of Persia and Max Payne.
Yes.
Mechanically pretty similar. I mean, unless you're counting the side-scrolling Prince of Persia. But, like, time manipulation mechanics, platforming, fighting.
Yeah, rewind, fast forward versus bullet time.
Yeah.
Awful movie adaptations.
Yeah, for both of them.
Check.
Game wise, I really liked. I liked every Max Payne that came out. And Prince of Persia, I can't say the same thing, but I think I found something that I liked about most of the Prince of Persias that came out.
I mean, I thought the first one, when they redid everything from 2D to 3D, was really good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one I played also.
Yeah, and I don't think I played any of the rest of them.
They did a cell shaded one. Well, let me look it up. I can't remember. It might have just been Prince of Persia, like basically like a remake. That was like super. That was super striking.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way that the.
I mean, the original was amazing because it did stuff with like rotoscoping and pixel art that like no other game was doing at that point. I remember playing it on like the 486 or maybe even my 386 before that, like, and just being blown away by what they were doing with it.
Yeah, I do feel like it was it's a game that's kind of been forgotten.
I mean, I'd love to see them come out with an updated one of that or a newer Max Payne.
I really feel like Prince of Persia, they're like, well, I mean, we have Assassin's Creed, so it's like. They're like, like, what's...
Yeah, but give me the fun time manipulation puzzles.
Yeah. So I think there is an opportunity there, but I think every time they bring it up, they're just like, yeah, but, like, setting-wise, Assassin's Creed can be everywhere.
I mean, has there been a good, like, bullet ballet game like Max Payne? Like, how have they not taken that style of game and done a John Wick game?
No, they have.
I'll say Roller Dome, because Roller Dome was basically like, here's Tony Hawk, but also bullet time shooty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me look. I mean, there's
Roller Drome, whatever it's called.
Yeah, Roller Drome. Yeah, but I really want that like noir story too.
Yeah, Max Payne 1. I would say I could actually throw Max Payne 2 in there as well. Or like they nail that like gritty noir. It's like, and 1 was incredibly dark, but by the time they got to 3, you can tell that they were like, Rockstar was really heavy into GTA.
Mm-hmm.
They threw him in like a Hawaiian shirt, and he was like a bald old guy. It was awesome. But no, some of the other games like Stranglehold. There was a game called Wet that nobody remembers that was pretty good. And then in the 2D realm, my friend Pedro and like Katana Zero.
Yeah, Katana Zero is really good, and my friend Pedro is really good too. There is another side-scrolling one that I played.
I thought you were just saying your friend Pedro was like made Katana Zero or played Katana Zero.
No.
Like, good for Pedro, I guess. Cool.
Pedro did good work, and he's friendly enough.
Yeah.
Wait, could we count? Damn it! What was that game that it was a first-person shooter that you could control just that one shot, and you could like move it around and get like specialty like headshots, or you could shoot him in the ass, or
like Sniper Elite.
Yeah, it's like Sniper Elite, but it was like a joke game.
Sniper Elite. You shoot the testicles off. How is that not a joke game?
But they're more serious about it.
I think the people that play Sniper
gun-
Elite are real serious about shooting people's nuts off.
They are. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess Super Hot is kind of a Max Payne-ish game.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Yeah.
How about Ninja Gaiden?
I really gave up on Ninja Gaiden, or Ninja Gaiden, however they pronounce it. When I saw him, I think it was in 3, when he was driving through a desert driving through a desert in a Jeep, one arm in it with like his arm around a chick. That was about the time I hopped off.
They're like, boy, they really lost the plot on this one.
They really did.
I mean, I played the original one on the Nintendo, and then
Holy shit, I have played the original one on the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Whoa. That pulled a memory out of me from 20 years ago. That's weird.
And I played PS1, was that when they rebooted it and did like the fancier graphics?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that one, but
no, they did the same graphics.
Playing it now, cool. It probably feels like it.
True.
Persona. Has anybody done something?
I didn't mark Ninja Gaiden because I didn't remember that I had played the original.
Hey, 52.
52.
Nice.
Fuck, I'm not updating this.
You gotta update it now. You
got it.
Fuck.
People demand it.
Persona. I'm sure that I have played more than 2 hours of Persona 5, but I didn't enjoy my time, so I didn't mark it.
I love Persona 5.
Okay. I will say,
I like 5.
The game was on for probably more than 2 hours, but I think my play time on the game is probably 11 minutes. Does that make sense? Like, the first 2 hours that I had the game going, I hit the X button like 100 times and got through like 500 dialogue things, and I took 2 actions. And I never returned. It's like, I just wanted to do one thing, and anytime I would do any singular thing, I would be in dialogue for 20 minutes. And I'm like, how did anyone play this?
It was dialogue heavy. I will not lie and say otherwise.
So yeah, when I was working video game retail, it was I think Persona 4 Golden had just come out, and a lot of people were talking about it, and I was like, well, I've never really jumped into a Persona game, so let me try the one before that just to see what that's like, and then I'll take out Golden and try that. I disliked every single one of them that I tried until 5, and I liked 5. I didn't absolutely love 5, but I spent, more than me just ending up in frustration and going like, oh, this is not for me. This is garbage. So yeah,
it seemed really cool, except for all of the mechanics and story that I had seen up to that point.
Except everything.
Yeah, except for all of the parts that I had to do in the game and while playing it, it seemed like it was really cool.
Oh, there it is.
Like, I love the aesthetic.
Max Payne style game that's not a Max Payne style game that I couldn't remember. It was like a bullet. You control the bullet storm. That's the game.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. People can play.
God, I beat that game.
Yeah. A good old Cliffy B game.
Yeah, it's got a...
What's Cliffy B?
This is the voice of the main character.
Wow.
God damn. But yeah, I know I'm going to get yelled at by everyone for my not love of the Persona series. But I really tried Persona 5. Like, I gave it as many hours as I give most games. And I felt like the percentage of things that I got accomplished in that amount of time was almost 0. But I really wanted to get into it because the aesthetic and the visuals and the soundtrack and everything is so cool. It's just game is just so. It's not game. It's not even dialogue options. You're just clicking through dialogue.
But it's good dialogue. Like, I think we're discrediting that it is very, very good dialogue.
When it's not telling you mechanical information, yes. But this was the first 2 hours of the game, so this is heavy tutorial land, and almost everything was, here's game information.
Okay, I can see that.
I don't know. I don't think I can ever return to it, because I sat through. I did 2 sessions. Like, I went through and I started. I was like, all right, we're getting into it. Obviously, it's a lot of text and setup and everything, but we'll get into it. And the second one was when gameplay started and then stopped and then started and then stopped and then started and then stopped. And I was like, I can't.
That is very, like, you just want to get it. You're just like, give me controls, please. Like,
yeah.
Please let me do something and stop reading and listening.
Just let me fail at something, and then we'll come back around and you can give me some tutorial stuff again.
What is this, Metal
Just
Gear?
let me do it.
But there's two games on this list that the exact same thing happened. I have the exact same amount of, like, love-hate for the series, and Persona's one of them. Like, yeah, I liked 5, tried a lot of the games before it, and disliked almost every one of them. I usually can find a redeeming quality, but I cannot remember what those qualities were on, like, Golden and the ones before.
I mean, Medal of Honor, we can just lump that in with Call of Duty, right? They're basically the same game.
Well, we skipped Bayonetta.
Oh, yeah, Bayonetta.
We can skip Bayonetta. That's fine.
You didn't play Bayonetta?
No.
Oh, damn. Well, it's Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
It is a Devil May Cry.
Oh. Well, I don't know where it went.
Is that on here somewhere? Can I spoil it? I also haven't really played Devil May Cry games.
That's a shocker to me.
It is on the list, but yeah, that's really surprising. Like, aesthetically, that seems like your jam.
Yeah. Especially when it, like, originally dropped. I feel like that younger E would have been like, oh my god, gimme. Because, I mean, I think a lot of us were like that. I'm surprised you didn't play it anywhere either.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Never came across the desk.
Oh, do you have an editorial desk that you pass all your gaming decisions through?
Yeah. A lot in the inbox, not a lot in the outbox.
He has a roll top with an in and an out tray. There's just nothing in either one. It had some good ideas. I had some fun times with Bayonetta, for sure. But I don't know where it went. Like, I really lost it when I played the first one pretty heavy. The second one, not as much. I haven't even touched the third one. All right.
So now Medal of Honor.
Now Medal of Honor. I'd like him to take a break. Like, I think Medal of Honor is in, like, a really interesting spot.
Ooh, don't just type in Medal of Honor in Google.
I think, like, Call of Duty has cornered a market. Call of Duty has definitely cornered a market, and I think someone could take some of that market and you know, do something with it. And I don't think, like, Battlefield are those people anymore. I think Medal of Honor is in an interesting position where they could do something if they
Battlefield
wanted to.
on here?
Is it?
I don't know. I don't think it is. I didn't see it. Anyway, I was thinking of Battlefield when I checked Medal of Honor, so I actually haven't played Medal of Honor. I haven't checkmarked, though. Back down to 51. All right, don't have to update anything.
Yeah.
Medal of Honor had some good stories. I mean, they were really in that time of when they were telling, like, war story. It was a war story video game.
They're just like, it's weird that somehow I've just outgrown war stories.
Yeah. Oh, no way.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a big part of it for me.
One-sided positive portrayals of war.
It's not that hard to find propaganda.
Yeah.
Medal of Honor's newest game is just going to be a dude who was in the military and now he's just in therapy. And you just do all of the therapy sessions, and it's just a visual novel.
I mean, I'm in for it.
I'd check it out.
Dead or Alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I mean, it was a fighting game. I used to play every fighting game for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever played Dead or Alive.
The volleyball game came out, and it was horrible. And I was like, I think I'm done with this.
Yeah,
I think the volleyball was the reason. Like, none of my friends had any of them because the volleyball one, like, their parents wouldn't even get them any Dead or Alive game because the volleyball one ruined it.
Yeah, they really were pushing in that, what they call it, jiggle physics. They were moving into that realm real heavy.
Yeah, because, I mean, you got to get the volleyball, right? Like, if it doesn't look correct, when they're hitting it, then that's what you mean, right? It's the volleyball?
Yes. In the beginning, though, it was like, I don't feel like that was their focus. But then they're like, well, we have all these characters. What else are we going to do? And then some bad decisions were made, probably over some drinks. And, then we got Dead or Alive volleyball something.
Not even regular volleyball, extreme beach volleyball.
I don't even know what that means. What did they have? Weapons?
It's the, 2000s.
You've seen Top Gun.
Everything.
I think you understand.
Yeah.
Fair. Deus Ex is a game that I feel like I should have played, but I haven't.
Yeah, I've played all 3 of them, I think. I'm not good at them. It's a stealth game that I usually just end up giving up on the stealth and blowing everything up.
Yeah. I got in late. I think I did like Human Revolution. That was like the first one that I jumped in. I assume that's not the first one. I feel like the first one's probably just like Deus Ex.
Yeah, the first one was just Deus Ex.
For the who the fuck made this list, the first entry in that for me is Drakengard. What the fuck is Drakengard?
It was one of those games that I remember. Like,
it's a JRPG.
I remember glimpses of the game. It's not that I remember playing it, but playing it a lot. But I remember like certain visuals of the game. Let me look here.
Now I know the Nier Automata series is a spin-off of it. And
wild.
Yeah, and
okay.
I believe that it has some similar mechanics.
That lady's got a flower in her eye. That's not where that's supposed to go.
I do like that the entertainment originally was known as Dragon Dragoon.
Oh, that's fun.
You should use the word Dragon in your description of your game.
Well, no, they just used the word dragon twice, but then did it fancy.
They did it fancy.
More
they didn't just want to say dragon.
Oh yeah, but they hyphenated it, so it's Dragon.
I know. That's how they got around it. They're like, we can't just do dragon. We have to do dragoon. I guess dragon isn't. They're like, yeah.
So I'm going back, and they're saying the game was a hybrid between the popular Dynasty Warrior series and the aerial combat game Ace Combat. And I'm looking at some screenshots here, and I remember some of the ground stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I obviously that PS2 box art is like something that I know I had seen a lot. I do not remember any of the aerial combat, but I know I played a lot of Ace Combat, which is not on the list.
Yeah, now I didn't include this one because I've only played Nier Automata, so I didn't know if it counted or not. But
entry number 2 in the who the fuck made this list immediately is Breath of Fire.
I mean, it's so far out of your wheelhouse. I believe the first one was for the Game Boy Advance.
It's JRPG nonsense.
Yeah, first one was Game Boy Advance.
No, Super Nintendo.
Wait.
Yeah, I think I played it on Super Nintendo.
Like, Ken, how did this make the list? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, because
so many series that you would think of.
Them. That means some level of success.
Well,
okay, sure.
I mean, for Capcom, not really. This is actually one I don't think I've ever played. Yeah. Like, I looked it over and I was like, no.
I think I did, but not enough to count it. This is one of my blank spots as well.
Wow. Across the board, huh?
Yeah.
Way to end on a low note.
Downer.
Yeah, what a downer.
Well, next episode we have some really big, heavy hitters.
Oh, yeah.
There's some really good ones. I'm excited for row 3 here.
Yeah, starting off
God
with
damn, one of these is gonna fucking shock the hell out of both of you, and I'm assuming everyone listening that I've never played.
no,
Ooh, multiple of these oh, definitely.
no. I'm pretty sure. I'm very confident you haven't played half this column.
I mean, it's probably 100% correct, but I guess we'll have to wait to find out.
Yeah, you're gonna
for
have to
you all 2 weeks.
hang in there.
Oh God, I'm so sorry that you have to wait 2 weeks for this. It's not a great cliffhanger.
No, it is because they don't know what's on the list.
That's true. I'm just posting one section of the list every episode, not even the whole list. So they know that it's 51 for me, but they don't know which ones each week.
That last episode is going to be a nail biter for them.
Yeah, they're playing video game bingo, trying to figure this out.
All right, everyone. Thanks again for watching Funbalanced. You can do all the podcast things that you normally do with podcasts.
Thank you for watching it with your ears.
Yeah, thanks for watching with your ears. This is, it's on YouTube also.
Oh, that's fair.
It's still just it's a static image, but
We're just trying to alienate the people who watch or listen to the podcast, and watch it on Spotify.
Don't you all have phones? And on that note, we will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye, everyone.